Hello, in this short video we'll be exploring the idea of an AI project list. Before we dive in, it's important for us to step back a little bit and think about the context in which we're working. So frameworks exist for approaching initiatives, projects, challenges, and they're important because they help us make sure that we don't miss important considerations. The Government Digital Service has a now fairly mature approach. If I had to distill it down to three main points, I'd say number one, understand the user needs and outcomes. Number two, maintain optionality. And thirdly, and this is really important, thinking about how people work, the culture, the ways of working, the processes that we impose on them. That's a bigger factor in the success of a project than just getting the technology right. It's also important for us to ensure that our use of AI is safe, fair and ethical. Frameworks exist. I'm a real fan of the EU approach because it's rooted in human rights. It's also worth us thinking a little bit about what our ambition is. Clearly we want to improve how we work together and collaborate better, not just within an organisation, but across different charities within the charity sector. But can we do better? And I think we can. So if we learn from how the best development happens on the internet, people work right across different sectors. People work on the internet in an open and transparent way. They discover what each other are doing. And the first thing we want to do is understand what's the problem we're trying to solve, for who as well. Now that's work that should be done. I haven't done that, but I've put on the screen some plausible challenges that people want addressing. I think also it's worth establishing what the outcomes should be. And again, I've made these up, but they seem plausible. So we want to see over time an uplift in the number of experiments that charities do. We also want to see a reduction in avoidable failure. If 2 or 3 charities are making the same mistakes, then that seems not quite right. And through better collaboration, we should be able to avoid that. The spreadsheet idea works to some extent, but there are challenges. Some of them might be, people email spreadsheets to each other, so you don't know which version is right. What's the incentive for keeping it up to date? Who's going to do that? And people have high expectations today for the ease of finding information. They want it to work just like the internet. And one of the answers might be transforming the information in a spreadsheet into a wiki, which is a lot more familiar, easy to use, accessible, has richer content, still structured. So here I've knocked up a prototype of a wiki, and you can see that it's a web page which is familiar, it's easy to edit, you can structure the information, you can include things like examples of the work that the II does. So here's a generated image for the wildlife charity. I can do search, so I can say who's working on ChatGPT, for example, and that'll take me to that information. I can also look through the tags to see relevant records. So there's 2 examples here for ChatGPT, and I can go there as well. I think also once the data set has grown, at the moment the spreadsheet's quite small, you can do analytics on it to see, well, what's being worked on, what are the clusters, what are the patterns. So to conclude, I think the first thing we need to do is be clear on who the users are, what the needs are, what the outcomes we want to see. I think what's also become apparent is that a standard approach to AI risk assessment should be developed, and I'm not seeing that. And then in the long term, we would want to further improve our culture of working in the way that the best of the internet does as well. Thank you for listening.